Welcome to the Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew and let's get to the show.
I want to take you higher. Oh, God. I want to take you higher. Oh, God. I don't. 2 days in a row, I've insisted on screaming in the mornings. I don't know what I'm doing. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, and it's Tuesday. And we had basketball last night, and there's nobody else I'd rather talk to about it this morning than Rusty. How are you, brother? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I was woke up kind of confused this morning. I heard a conversation going on when I was trying to get up, kind of stirring. Turns out it was between my eyes. My right eye turned to my left eye and said, "Hey, between you and me, something smells. Welcome to the Daily Grind."
You get it? You get it? I don't think Wayno gets it. Wayno, it's his nose. It's called humor. Google it. That's great. I like the ones that don't involve your neighbors. When I'm like, I don't know who your neighbors are. Your neighbors could be these crazy dudes you tell me about every day. The ones that aren't about your neighbors, I really appreciate. I can get to those quicker.
I've got a lot of neighbors apparently.
You've got a lot of weird neighbors, dude. I'm worried about you. Let's talk about some basketball, dude. We did have a basketball game last night. Also, King Meeks, Wayno, thank you guys for hopping in. Everybody there this morning, thank you. Let's talk some hoops. Indiana Pacers lost game 5 last night, 109-120. The game
was never really close. I mean, Oklahoma City controlled it from the beginning. Largely was 18 points. They won by 11. Closing out that 18-4 run to kind of close out the fourth quarter was kind of the nail in the coffin, hammer nail coffin, as Petey would say.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing last night, Luke, Tyrese Halliburton was the first All-NBA player to miss every shot he took in the finals since 1958.
Whew.
1958. Slater Martin of the St. Louis Hawks did not make a single shot in an NBA Finals game after being named to an All-NBA team, and now Tyrese Halliburton joins that illustrious club.
That's pre-civil rights movement, Tyrese Halliburton. That ain't good.
That ain't good.
God, I knew he had a bad game. Let's
ask Kenny. Kenny probably watched that game live, so we can ask Kenny what his thoughts were about old Slater Martin.
Damn. This one was weird because we talk quite frequently about how Halliburton's not that. I don't know why that's what that's what we sound like when we talk about Halliburton. Halliburton's not that guy. Halliburton isn't the guy that's going to have a 40-pointer. I expect a little more than this.
Yeah, I mean, he's an efficient hooper usually, but he finished last night with 4 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 for 6 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. He had 3 turnovers. His true shooting percentage last night was 25%. And the only reason it was that is because he went 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So, yeah, man, I mean, it's clear that SGA is kind of the alpha, although J-Dub had a monster game last night. He finished with 40 points, 6 boards, and 4 assists. Like, I mean, come on, man. What an incredible performance he had.
Also elite company, the other direction.
Yeah. I mean, that's it, man. Oklahoma City was the more dominant team last night, and they wasted. I kept telling y'all we were going to have a TJ McConnell game, and they wasted it last night. 18 points off the bench, 8 of 14 from the field, only 1 of 2 from 3. Just in a very efficient night for TJ McConnell, and the Pacers wasted it.
Man, It's so interesting. This was a 2-point game at one point. They pulled this sucker back to 2 points in the fourth, but I really never felt like the Pacers were going to win this one because of the way Hallie was playing. Like you can have all the other pieces fall into place. You can have Siakam get almost a 30-burger. You can have your bench between McConnell and Obi Toppin get you a 30 between the two of them. Like that's working right. Tell you what you can't do. You can't have Halliburton have a 4-point game, and you can't have 22 turnovers compared to the 11 that Oklahoma City Thunder has. Like that's really and then the turnovers in the they just all seemed bad in the fourth. Everybody was turning the ball over. I don't know. And maybe
they got close
under defense. They got close.
Yeah, they got close, and then the Thunder kind of turned it up. I think the Thunder defense was a big part of those turnovers. I think the moment got kind of big, and they rose to the occasion. And we kind of felt like this was coming, right? Like we felt like this game was going to go back to Indiana with the Thunder up 3-2. I think the Pacers can win game 6, and it'll be a winner-take-all game 7 in Oklahoma City, which I don't love the Pacers' chance in that. but I anticipate this will go to 7 just because I think Hallie recovers. But last night, man, hats off to the Thunder again. From the 8:06 mark in the fourth quarter to the 5-minute mark, they won an 18-4 run to kind of bury the Pacers, who had gotten it close. The Pacers had a decent third quarter. They won the third quarter, and they cut into the lead and were battling back early in the fourth. But J-Dub took over. SGA took over. He scored 7 straight points in the final minute to kind of put this one to bed. And putting it to bed, I started brushing my teeth and getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
The inevitable conclusion was right there in front of you.
Yeah, and I mean, it's tough. I don't know what you're going to do when Shea and J-Dub score 70.
That's yeah.
And Shelby agrees. I keep expecting a little more from Chet, but honestly, you don't need it when you got they're fine when they're getting this from the list of 40-point finals current players who've had 40-point finals games, few and far between. So this is elite company. I think that if we know anything about Halliburton, he's going to have a bounce back game probably, and I think you're absolutely right. I think this sucker goes back to 7.
Carlisle got a little upset last night. He got that tech. It was kind of ticky. I mean, all that sucking up he did to Scott Foster did him no good because they kind of there was some ghost fouls and some non-calls last night.
Not as bad as game 4.
Yeah, it's not as bad as game 4. It is what it is. You kind of expect that when you play the Thunder that there's going to be a disparaging there. But the fouls only ended up being 25 for Indiana and 24 for Oklahoma City. So it wasn't that bad. I think it was just some frustrations last night out of Rick Carlisle. But now is where you make your money. This is where he makes his money, where Hallie makes his money, and how they can come back in game 6 and force that pivotal game 7.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I would be shocked if this ended in 6 games.
It can now. The Thunder absolutely can, but the Pacers played well at home. Splitting there with Oklahoma City. I think that Hallie, I don't think it's going out like this. I think you'll get a bounce back game.
He did go out there's people that go out with an injury, and then there's people that go out with an injury. I think he wasn't like John Morant getting jacked or he was fine. He wasn't
he was hurt a little bit. You could tell that his calf wasn't 100%. And he also didn't look as bad as I think some of the media was trying to make it out to be.
Yes.
I think it was a combination of the calf. He was still probably 80-85%.
Yes.
But Oklahoma City very clearly was not going to let Hallie beat them last night.
Nope. He's going to have to if he doesn't come out aggressive in the first quarter and this Thunder team smells blood in the water, they're going to pounce. And I think this could potentially be bad for the Pacers if Hallie doesn't at least come out with his hand on the wheel a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to have to
out of the gate last night.
He's going to have to facilitate a bit more. He's going to have to be kind of the aggressor on offense, and that you can be aggressive shooting and you can be aggressive kind of forcing the issue on offense. And he didn't either last night. I think he finished with like 7 assists or whatever, 6 assists. You're going to have to push the issue a little bit more in game 6, not like overly, not panicky, right? But you're going to have to play a little bit more forceful if you're Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah. Dude was a negative.
I mean, he only took 10 shots. Only took 10 shots all night. You are the guy on this team. You were supposed to be the dude, the alpha. Go be that guy.
Yeah, that's far too little shots. You expect more. If you are an all NBA player, to be perfectly honest, I expect more out of you, and I think we'll get it. Hopefully, I really want to see 7 games.
I do too. It's been such a good finals, and even last night there were moments. It was a good basketball game. It's been such a good finals that I want this to go 7. Like, I'm not ready for the NBA season to be over. Although it might mean some more trades for the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm not ready for the season to be over yet.
Yep. Second, right. One more question about this. Shout out Wayne. When OKC wins the chip, will anybody care about Durant?
I'm kind of over the Kevin Durant drama already. Like last night they were talking about it, and it seemed like the Spurs seemed like a likely destination. He doesn't want to go to Minnesota. At this point, I don't care. Like, just go somewhere and let's be done so we can talk about something else. I long ago started tuning out the national media, and it's been apparent over the last couple of days why. Since we traded Desmond Bane, and now everybody's like, "Oh, Memphis is blowing it up, and John Morant's next." Like, why do we have to trade Desmond Bane in order to trade John Morant? Don't you think we'd do that first if we were blowing it up? But I digress. I'm just over it. I don't care where he goes at this point. Just go somewhere.
Same. I don't care. I'm tired of hearing it. Yeah. A friend of mine last night was trying to talk about him, and I was like, dude, I'm not having this conversation with you. I don't care anymore. I don't. Moving on. You mentioned the Desmond Bane trade. One little inkling, one little thing that occurred in that trade that is worth noting. Grizzlies have a draft pick now, which was not the case beforehand. So now they have a draft pick. I decided that I needed to cover the draft a little bit. And so I reached out to our guy, Chip Williams over here at Bluff City Media. Dude's awesome. I'm going to have him on next Wednesday, day of the I think that's when the draft is. And he's going to come on one day next week. We're just going to talk about some guys. He gave me a list of people. He gave me some names that he thinks the Grizzlies might trade up for. We know how the Grizzlies are known to do that. This team likes to trade up. If they see a guy, they like to trade up. He gave me a list of dudes that he does not necessarily think will be there when they draft, but guys that he considers on their radar for trading up. First and foremost of these guys, and honestly, first and foremost on a lot of guys' draft boards that I've seen that has been currently going up is Knippel. God, we looked up how to say this dude's name, and I've watched a ton of Duke games. Like I've seen his name on the TV. Knippel. This is the freshman out of Duke. If you've watched Duke games, which if you've watched college basketball, odds are you have watched some Duke games. I like this guy a lot. Some comps. I mean, you want some quick comps. Look at Gordon Hayward. Look at Wally Sazerbeck from back in the day. You look at
Chris Mullen, Jared Dudley are names that I've seen associated with him.
A bigger, better Luke Kennard.
Yeah.
Like this dude was 14.4 points in college, 64.2% true shooting percentage, 40.63%. With at least he's attempting 5.3 threes per game. This is a high-level floor spacer, man, that can knock down shots, but he's big. He's a big dude.
That's kind of his thing is he's a big guy. He can shoot. He's 6'7", 215. He's kind of a combo shooting guard, small forward. His shooting splits were 47.9, 40.6, as you said, and 91.4 from the free throw line. He doubled his assists to turnovers, 2.7 assists to 1.4 turnovers per game, which is good. High basketball IQ, big guy who can absorb a lot of contact. He's just not very athletic. That's the one drawback to him is like his role is going to be like a 3-point specialist. Like he's not great in transition. He's a decent defender, but he's not very quick. So like I'm afraid. I do like the 3-point shooting. I do like the shot creation because he can do that a little bit because of his size. I just worried that he's going to get swallowed up defensively because the NBA is just so athletic. And I'm just like, that's my one concern. Again, the guy is an incredible shooter. He can create some shots. Like he is a bucket. But in transition, off the dribble, can he make plays? And so far, the answer has been no, just because of lateral quickness and he's a little heavy-footed. But again, great IQ, smart basketball player, a guy that can be a bucket. And if you're just looking for somebody to go stand in the corner and shoot threes off John Moran drives, this might be your guy.
Yep. You said heavy-footed, and I got a little Jake LaRibia flashbacks. This was like, yeah. Don't confuse this. He's confident.
I mean, he's likely going to go top 10.
He's not falling out of the top 10. I don't see him falling past Utah.
No, I mean, again, like this guy smells like a Utah Jazz.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's a bucket. I mean, again, 40% from three. He averaged 14 points per game. He stepped in and started some when Cooper Flagg was injured and played well. Played at Duke, high level, high leverage basketball. Again, great IQ, great feel for the game, as Edward says here in the comments. He's going to be a good 3-point specialist. I just worry a bit about his athleticism and can he keep up with the NBA from a speed of the game aspect, right? Because we see it a lot. You get these guys who are a bucket in college, but like you're playing against a lot of future State Farm agents there, right? Like in the NBA, it's different.
Yep.
It's different.
Just a different game. You're absolutely right. We're going to talk more about some of these guys. And like I said, I don't see this dude falling out of the top 10. There's a very, very strong possibility the Grizzlies trade up. We've got a couple more trade target names we're going to hit tomorrow and as we get close to the draft. We do have actual realistic trade names too, but these, splashy names that we might jump into. We're going to take
I want to be clear real quick. I want to be clear. The only reason I would be okay with keeping or trading up the draft pick is if we make another splash trade.
Yes.
Or not necessarily like a Kevin Durant splash, but like we go get like a 2 for 3, right? Like we send out BC, Cole Anthony, and Gigi. We get back Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton, just throwing names out there. And this is like an end of the bench. I don't want, like, we've already doubled and tripled down on youth and got unintentionally younger, as Zach Kleiman said. Like, for me, this is only like, hey, we've traded for somebody else and we need to fill the roster. If we traded Desmond Bane and we go get Kneppel or whatever, I don't think, like, to me, we lost that trade 100%.
Yeah. This is not a replacement player. This is a end of the bench guy after we have hopefully made moves.
I want my stance on that to be very clear.
The Daily Grind stance on this is we do not want to replace Desmond Bane with Kneppel. Do not
with a rookie, with a draft pick. Like,
we just are saying, if the Grizzlies bolster spot 10 with this draft pick, what should they do?
Exactly.
Boom. We're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we got some more Hot Grizz Summer. I'm gonna make a different song up every time. Hot Grizz Summer. We're gonna talk some more top 15 Grizzlies of all time right after this break.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Welcome back. You can get a tattoo. I love that, man. I was telling everybody, I was like, Kenny's just getting tatted up on a commercial. It's so bad.
Just for the commercial, man. That's boss moves.
I was like, man, do I need to get tatted for a commercial? I feel like I need to step my game up.
I would.
Yeah, shoot. Call us. Trilogy Tattoo. Badass name. Ounce of Hope. They're great. Check them out, y'all. For real. We try to only do the best that we can here at Bluff City Media, and as such, we also try to partner with the best. Two of those being Ounce of Hope and Trilogy Tattoo. So go check them out, y'all.
Check them out. Ounce of Hope. Get your rebound capsules. You can go take one of those to recover from your tattoo from Trilogy and tell them both that Bluff City Media sent you.
There you go. You could just walk in being like, hey, shaking them. They'll be like, hey.
Macarena.
Yeah. Give me the tattoo. I don't know what I'm saying. What am I doing? I digress. You know what time it is. It is time for us to continue our Hot Grizz Summer. That might stick.
Listen, it's the perfect. It's foreigners. Hot Grizz Summer. Check it and see. Come on, bro. Like, that's the move right there. Let's go.
There we go. And debuting at numbers 15, 14, and 13 on this Hot Grizz Summer, the top 15 Grizzlies of all time. We have number 15, Jonas Valanciunas. Number 14, Lorenzen Wright. My guy. 13, Dylan Brooks. Let me say Dylan Brooks appeared on everyone's list, but let's start with JV. And before everybody goes crazy in these comments, these were voted on by everybody. Everybody voted. I say everybody. These were voted on the people here at Bluff City Media. So It's not me and Rusty didn't just pick these. Let's start with JV, because JV, we came in at 15. He was pretty much right around there for most of these lists. He had 3 seasons in Memphis. For me, and I would say for a lot of fans, I think JV really I earned his stride. He was really big for this team during the COVID years, during that bubble season, and I think that was huge.
Yeah. Shout out King Meeks. Keep that up, buddy. You can absolutely tell the jokes. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, he was a walking double-double. In his 3 seasons in Memphis, he averaged just over 16 points per game and right at 11 rebounds per game. And so during that stretch he was with Memphis from the 2018-19 season to the 2020-2021 season, he was a part of the trade that brought us Steven Adams when he went to New Orleans. And so for that, I am thankful. But he kind of set the mold of what Grizzlies fans want in a big guy that's big, that's assertive, that can be aggressive, that just cleans the glass. And so an absolute walking double-double. He was a walking bucket. I mean, he was pretty good for about 17 points and 10 boards just about every night. And I think he was a bit more athletic than Steven Adams was. And so Jonas Valanciunas was on my list. He was a little bit lower than 15, but I mean, I think he walked so that Steve-O and Jaren and these guys could run, and he helped a lot with the development of what the modern-day Grizzlies look like.
Specifically Triple J, man. I remember those early triple. Like I so clearly remember them playing in the bubble, and I think it was a Kyle Anderson 3 to not go. It was just watching JV be the veteran for young Triple J. Triple J was a baby then. And just watching them develop that young core was really something, man. And JV's been in the league for 13 years now. That's wild. You don't talk about a vet.
And the thing, like, he kind of also, I remember watching him play, and like he kind of freed up Jaren to roam and be that free safety, that roamer, that switcher on defense that he truly is. And it's like, okay, this is the recipe for how we can truly unlock Jaren Jackson Jr. is you get a big guy that can anchor in the middle and be that true center, and Jaren can then free flow and play great defense. And so from Jonas, that's how we started. Okay, now Steven Adams and now Zach Edey to give that anchor in the middle.
It's and that's not, and we got him in the Marc Gasol deal. I mean, going back even further, like we got him. The fact this is such a sending Mark to a champion, getting a proven veteran in return who comes back and not only get you Steven Adams, but also helps these young guys. It's just really nice. And I do believe Edward, I think he did have a triple-double. I could be wrong, but I feel like
he did. And him and Ja played really well together, which is the mold that we're trying to get back to with Tomas as the coach in that pick and roll style offense. He's a great pick setter. He's a big center.
Yes.
Who's bigger, takes up space, sets hard screens, but also is athletic enough to roll to the basket, roll out of Ja's way, but be there for Ja to play off of. And so he kind of, again, he sets the mold for what we're looking for now. He helped. He was one of the biggest helps in the transition from the old G&G to the new G&G, taking us out of that grit and grind and in the mud to a more athletic pick and roll style offense.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And that's important. That's important when you look at this franchise history. 14 coming in at 14, man. Lorenzen Wright.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. dude. You want to talk about, for those of us who those early Grizz seasons right out of Vancouver with him, Shane Battier, Mike Miller,
Powell on those teams. Like he came, Stromile Swift, like he was here for the inaugural season, 01-02. He was in Memphis from the 01-02 season to 05-06. His best season being the first one, averaging 12 points, 9 boards. He was just kind of a do-it-all, power forward kind of player, not going to be your best player, not going to go out and get you 30 points, but was just a gritty, grimy type player. He embodied the city that he grew up in, and coming back and playing in Memphis was big, that hometown connection for sure for him. He embodied Memphis, and again, kind of as Jonas Valanciunas took us out of the grit and grind, I think Lorenzen Wright kind of laid the foundation for the original grit and grind. And helped kind of establish that gritty, hard-nosed defense, aggressive type play that ultimately we found success with late in the 2000s and early 2010s. And so, again, RIP to the legend, gone too soon. The story of his death and demise is wild, and the trial and everything just captured the city for a long time. So, that's a whole different Lorenzen Wright legend. But for us on the basketball court, again, to me, he kind of helped set the stage as a gritty player for the grit and grind era.
And honestly, one of the first, like, before the grit and grind guys, like a homegrown hero, where a guy that felt like one of ours, like somebody that was ours that we could claim, which was
a big reason that he came in, right? Like to help, like ingrain the team with the city. He kind of helped with that transition and made it, the Grizzlies truly be a part of Memphis because they had one of their own.
Yep. Let's go to number 13.
Very polarizing figure here.
After our lovely moment with Lorenzen Wright, let's talk about Dylan Brooks because I got a Dylan Brooks jersey. It's in the closet. I wore it to mow the grass the other day. I also don't think I've sworn as loud as I have ever in my life than when he clotheslined Gary Payton II for no reason.
No reason.
So you would talk about a pull, but hugely important to this franchise. So maybe actually probably not. Maybe he is the most polarizing person I would say in this top 15. I don't even think it's close.
Agreed.
I haven't even shown you the full list, and you're right. There's no one more polarizing than him.
Yeah, I'm looking at my notes for Dylan Brooks, and that's the biggest thing is just like how polarizing he was. There'd be some games where like you get the best Dylan Brooks, and he's going to knock down 4 or 5 threes, and he's just going to be in everybody's face, swaggering around, just a defensive menace. And then there's other times where it's just like, why are you still shooting? Like he could absolutely shoot us out of a basketball game, like just mind-numbingly frustrating, and did. And so like revisionist history recently on Twitter, there's a few accounts that are just super nostalgic on Twitter and thinking that like that Dylan Brooks is the worst, like letting him go is the worst mistake we've ever made as a franchise. I could probably tell you a few more that were worse than that because like hindsight's always 20/20. And looking back, there were moments where he was great. But Luke, like you talked about, clotheslining Gary Payton Jr., chucking Goodwin at like a 1 for 7 from 3 in a playoff game against the Lakers. Like, what are you like? I don't miss that one bit, right? To me, early in his career, the good outweighed the bad. And it was like, yeah, I can put up with some of the antics and some of the not so great shooting because the defense was there and he could get you some buckets. But by the time he transitioned out and kind of had the falling out and moved on to Houston, it had kind of run its course. And to me, it was a net negative at that point because we were shooting ourselves out of ball games. We were poking the bear and then laying an egg against LeBron. And I think that relationship ended right when it was supposed to. And I appreciate young Dylan Brooks and what he did. But by the end of his tenure here, I was kind of ready for him to go.
Yeah, same. And another one like Jonas Valanciunas, forgive me.
Not the Jonas brothers.
Not the Jonas brothers, Valanciunas brothers. The is there a Valanciunas brother? I don't know.
It's got to be.
There's
like this Slovenian family.
Eastern Bloc, maybe.
He's Lithuanian. They usually got like 11 kids running around.
Yep. Love it. Dylan Brooks, like JV, incredibly important for that transition period from the grit and grind to this next gen Grizz. It's very important. Just I think for getting the guys in the right mindset of not being pushovers. Like I just think very important in that transition period.
Agreed. We wouldn't be who we are today without Jonas Valanciunas and Dylan Brooks for different reasons. And I'm grateful for Dylan's service. I don't have any ill will towards Dylan. I appreciate his time in Memphis, but it had ran its course and it was time.
I couldn't agree more. We're going to be debuting more of these, y'all. We got just going to be sprinkling it out, peppering them out throughout the summer. We've got going to be inching into the top 10, I believe. 12, 11. Yeah. After next, we'll be in the top 10. So this will be good. So tune in. That'll probably be sometime next week. Before we get out of here, we got some tubing to do. And it's a theme tube because there was a no-no happening. Was the no-no yesterday? Yeah, no-no. Yeah, man. This is the College World Series edition of Tubing Tuesdays because I haven't been watching much in terms of television or movies, but I have been watching baseball, and it has been lovely.
When I tell you, like, this is the best postseason of all sports, like, I'm telling you, like, I've been, like, if you watch the $2 Sports Show, like, I push college baseball heavily because I am just a massive fan of what the postseason looks like and the performances that you get, right? You get them, like, out, like, you don't see this in college football. You don't see this, very much in professional sports. You definitely don't, like, Cinderella teams in the NCAA March Madness have a shelf life. But college baseball is where you can truly get some mid-majors. You had Murray State on a major run. I've been putting y'all on the Shants up, Coastal Carolina, 25-game winning streak. dominated Oregon State on Saturday and just like in complete driver's seat over there. Like I'm telling you, the shots, I when it started, I picked Coastal Carolina and LSU to play for Natty, and I had Coastal Carolina winning. And so I'm telling you, watch out for the shots. But Luke, for the first time since the 1960, the year my father was born, we had our first no-hitter in the College World Series. And not only that, but it was a 19 strikeout, like, dude, dominant performance. Dominant. I mean, like, Luke, like, it is probably one of the best baseball pitching performances across any level in the history of the sport. When you look at the moment, right, it was a do or die team. It was a do or die moment. Lose, you go home, right?
Yep.
Arkansas chooses to throw their ace, who's Gage Wood, and you get an electric performance like that. In his post-game interview, like, what are you feeling? What are your thoughts? And his first thing was, I shouldn't have hit that guy, and I'd have had a perfect game. Like, just that guy is psycho. And in the moment, like, he showed up, man. And so, again, can't say enough about that. LSU and UCLA pick up this morning at 11 a.m. because it got rained out last night. LSU is up 3-0 and in control of that game. But that Gage Wood performance yesterday will go down as stuff of legends. 19 strikeouts in an elimination game and a no-hitter. Dominant.
Man, college baseball, the postseason in college baseball is the single most romantic sporting event of all time. It's like everything is the most high drama and not corny drama. Like legit legends are made drama.
There's always one or two dudes that come in as a relatively unknown and they make their money in Omaha, right? They make themselves into a professional ball player because, again, you get Murray State, you get Coastal Carolina, you get Cal State Fullerton in years past, these small schools that have these studs that you don't see because they don't play on a big stage. And all of a sudden they rise to the occasion in Omaha, and there's some dudes that earn a bag in Omaha. And Gage Wood is going to be one of them.
Yep. Man, I knew you were going to deliver. I really was just hoping you would wax poetic about the College World Series, and you did. I'm sorry.
I can keep going. I can tell you about Caden Bodine from Coastal Carolina, who is one of the best all-time college baseball catchers, especially like from a framing standpoint. Like if you look at some of his pitch charts and the balls that he has turned into strikes, it's unbelievable. That guy, to me, is the best player still playing. He's hard. I mean, that's it. And he's hitting well over 300. He's an RBI machine. Like, he's going to be a top 5 pick in this summer's draft. Like, there's just so many dudes that we could go on and on and on about how great they are. Like, I mean, again, I know we're trying to wrap up the show. Jess Benson's coming on. We got stuff to do, but I can talk about Omaha for the rest of the day.
Man. Are you guys having a $2 Sports show? Are you guys going to talk about that tomorrow?
We are. So we talked about some yesterday in yesterday's episode. We'll definitely. We've got an interview coming tomorrow with an Orlando Magic podcast talking about the opposite side of this trade, what Desmond what they think about Desmond Bain coming in, how he fits alongside Franz and Jalen Suggs and Banchero, and what they think of the trade. So tune in for that.
Hell yeah.
And we're always going to talk Omaha when it's going on, or at least I am anyway.
Yes.
I can't help it. It's the best.
I love it, y'all. So catch them tomorrow. Catch Anthony Sane today at 2. I'm remembering stuff. Also go to Ounce of Hope and go to Trilogy Tattoo while you're there. That's going to do it for our show today, y'all. Everybody in the comments, thank you all for hanging out with us. I know I didn't miss some people, but thank you guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't. You guys make everything worth it. Really, it's fun to come in here and talk with you guys every morning. I love it. We'll be back tomorrow. What are we going to talk? We're going to talk more draft. Probably going to talk some Santi Sidon trade. I've been seeing that on the news. But yeah, have a great day today, y'all. Remember these 2 things as you go about your day. Remember to be a little weird. Just a little bit. Not yet, a little bit there. Just remember to smile. Smile. Bye, guys. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.